My name is Elena Pertegaz, and I'm the head of languages here at Stanford. So imagine a world where every page you turn is a new passport stamp. Every chapter, a new destination. So this is the world that I lived in since my childhood. So I'm here today to take you on a journey that transcends borders, cultures, and time itself. I learned how to read faster than my classmates. The reason why, and this is my own theory, is because of my grandpa. He was a banker, and at that time they didn't have computers. They have these old machines called typewriters. I'm going to show you a photo because we have many young people in the audience. They might not know what I'm talking about. So this is a typewriter, a heavy, noisy, and old one. So I remember sitting on my grandpa's knees, looking at all those characters and symbols that meant nothing to me at that time. But then when I started school, I remember them, and it was much easier for me to start reading. Since then, reading has been one of my passions. I used to go every single year in June, I used to go to my bookshop to get 2 books. One, because I was a very good student with good grades, and the second one, because my birthday falls in June. That's the first time that I traveled through books. If you are my age, I'm not a millennial, I'm the generation before, I think it's Generation X. You will remember this series of books called Choose Your Own Adventure. They were amazing. You didn't have to read the whole book. You, as a reader, you can make some choices, take in some responsibilities. So you were in the middle of nowhere. You're going to go to the right, so you go to page 36. You're going to go to the left, so you go to page 34. It was amazing. So all those adventures and characters fascinated me. But life has a way of surprising us. So despite of my love for reading books and literature, I found myself studying law at university. But even between all those legal tomes, my passion for reading flourished. My studies and my university taught me that every single text, no matter how dry, holds a story to be uncovered. I've been lucky enough to travel to different parts of the world. But I also like the idea of me sitting on my sofa with a cup of tea, with a cup of coffee, open a book, reading some pages, and travel. So I would like to share with you today some of the novels that allow me to travel to different areas, perspectives, and cultures from the comfort of my own home. Are you ready? Yes? Fasten your seatbelts. Okay, so the first stop is Mexico. I've never been in Mexico. It's one of the countries that I want to visit one day. And the novel is Like Water for Chocolate by Laura Esquivel. It is a family love drama story where food plays an important role. The novel is divided in 12 chapters, corresponding to the 12 months of the year. And every chapter starts with a recipe. A traditional Mexican recipe. I read this book several times because it's compulsory in one of my classes. And the way Laura describes Tita, the main character, and her passion for food is truly captivating. Sometimes you can smell the food they are cooking in the kitchen. And we all know that food transports us to very special places in our hearts and minds. The magical realism invites you to taste the emotions that bind generations together. Okay, next up, we're going to Africa, through the pages of Half of the Yellow Sun by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I first knew about Chimamanda here in TED. She has a very good talk with the title of I can't remember now, The Promise of a Single Story, where she talks about African stereotypes. Her books are amazing. If you want to know more about Africa and Nigeria, where is this coming from. The main characters of this novel, they are dealing with identity, love, conflict, with Biafra's independence at the background. We are flying now to Spain, to my homeland, to delve into one of the most tragic events of our history, the Spanish Civil War. The book is La Voz Dormida, The Sleepy Voice, by Dulce Chacón. The book is about testimonies of women that were fighting against Franco and they were put in jail because of their political ideas. The reader will know more about the 13 Roses, a group of women who were executed in 1939. I literally cried the first time that I read this book because the testimonies of the 13 Roses, leaving their families behind, knowing that they're going to die, transport you to very, very dark places and how humans fight against oppression. We are flying now to Russia with Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. You can feel the call of St. Petersburg Street when you read this masterpiece and you have deeper insights of how difficult it is to read the human mind. The protagonist feels guilty and he has to face the consequences of his actions. The first time I read this book, I was in university and I couldn't stop reading, so my grades that semester were a little bit lower than expected, but it was truly worth it. So it's a very good book to debate between what is right and what is wrong. Now it's time for Korea. I have the pleasure of visiting Korea 2 years ago, and I love the place. I read Grass, hierba in Spanish, by Kyung-Sing Gentry Kim. It is a graphical novel that tells you the story of a young Korean girl who was forced to be a sexual slavery by the Japanese Imperial Army during the Second World War. The drawings, or in black and white, are powerful images of the conflict between Japan and Korea and the consequences for the people. We are ending our journey here in Singapore with a yellow house. I've been living in Singapore for more than 17 years now, and I found this country an amazing place to live. The book is about some of the challenges and issues that some of the domestic helpers are facing here in Singapore. The main character is Maya, a 10-year-old who is very, very angry because her mother just passed away. So her helper introduced Maya to her friends. Immediately, she realized that the world of the domestic helpers in Singapore are very different than hers, and she wants to help. It was really nice to see and recognize the places of this country that I call home. I don't want to leave you without two of my favorite quotes. The first one is by Miguel Cervantes and his masterpiece, Don Quijote de la Mancha. Luchamos contra tres gigantes, amigo Sancho, la injusticia, el miedo y la ignorancia. We fight three giants, my dear Sancho, injustice, fear, and ignorance. The second one is by my favorite Spanish poet, Antonio Machado. Caminante, no hay camino, se hace camino al andar. Traveler, there is no road, you make your own as you walk. This one, especially for my grade 12 students, we're going to start a new journey very, very soon. So books are more than pages bound together. They are bridges for understanding, vehicles for empathy, and tickets to a world that we might otherwise never experience. So I challenge you, pick up a book, turn the page, and get ready for the best adventure of your life. Thank you for joining me in this expedition today. Safe readings and travels, and I hope your bookshelf always be a getaway to new worlds. Thank you very much.